tremendous looking trophy.
Hello and welcome to Platinum Explosion, number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Dylan Blunt. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey John, excited to be here and excited we got some news this week.
I know, I wake up this morning,
You must have gone to bed early.
I went to bed at like 11? I think I went to bed like maybe half an hour before. I was probably asleep half an hour before stuff happened. But yeah, it's like I wake up this morning, check Twitter, it's like, oh shit, something actually happened. And then like see the chat where it's like us and Kieran and Buddy, and it's like, Buddy's like, I hope you haven't recorded Plat yet. Like, we didn't. For once, PlayStation shone light on Platinum Explosion.
It's just a new era.
And they'll drop a state of play on Thursday, and cool. Who knows what could happen. But this week on the show, we'll get to all that in a moment. Bronze trophy, easy plats. Silver trophy, potential of a new Sly Cooper game. Gold trophy, Fall Guys news, and the platinum, of course, what we're talking about, more details on PlayStation Plus, new changes, things, list. I don't actually know how. PlayStation Plus games collection, or whatever they're calling it. But before we get to that, go over some games quickly. So after last week saying Unpacking's coming out, played Unpacking. Very good. If you haven't played it already, play it again. Play it on PlayStation. It's a easy platinum as well as a very good game. So I love something that ticks both the boxes, you know. If you've played the game already on another platform like I had, here's my tip to get the platinum quicker. Put an asterisk on this and say, I highly suggest not doing this if you haven't played the game, just to get the platinum quicker, because the game is very good and you should definitely play it properly the first time. However, if you just want to mess around, when you start up the game, you can go onto the options menu. There is a tick box that turns off, or it says something like you can put items anywhere. So this more or less defeats or takes out the puzzle element of Unpacking, because when you play it, there are you have a level of freedom, but there's definitely you can't put
put everything on the floor.
You can't put everything on the floor, and you can't leave it, you can't decide the toothbrush goes in the bedside cabinet. No, it has to go in the bathroom. There's certain things that have to be put in certain areas and certain rooms and stuff like that. However, once you turn that box on, you're free to do whatever the hell you want. So at that stage, when I just played through the game, it sped it up because then I just did whatever I want. You could just dump everything on the floor, I guess, technically. But it was just, I just put stuff where I wanted it and had fun doing it that way. And it definitely speeds up the process because you don't have to, usually every time you finish a level the first time playing it, you'll finish it and the rooms will be flashing red, like this item's in the wrong place or something like that. And you got to figure out where to put it. So that will speed up your platinum process if you want to grab the platinum and you've already played it on PC or Switch or something like that. I gotta say, because I played this on PC, I definitely feel like the game's a lot easier to play. It's just because it's a because the game is moving cursor around grabbing objects. So yeah, going from playing it on PC where I'm just whipping my mouse around, grabbing things and whatever else, and then playing up the controller, I'm like, it's fine, but I think definitely it works a lot better with a mouse. So that's very good. And then talking about easy plats, I'll shout out two more because, even though I talked about this like a million weeks ago, Unpacking was my 250th platinum. So I locked that one in with a game that actually is something I care about. So that one can now sit on PSN profiles as my 250th sort of milestone thing. So straight after that, I was like, cool, now I can actually go play these other two shitty platinums I've brought recently and add them to the list.
But you get to 300 quickly.
Yeah. I was like, I brought them and I nearly played one. I was like, fuck, I can't play this till I get my 250th. And that was like the couple days before Unpacking came out or whatever. So Pigeon P is a game in which you hold X to get a platinum. You takes maybe 2 minutes. Very easy. It's just one of those simple things where you're just holding it and the pigeon's doing something and the timer counts up. I don't know, a bunch of trophies. Anyway, it's like $2. If you want easy plat, there you go. And then another one is called the Slovak Run. That's also like $2 something or other. It is it's a very bad, like a infinite runner, like where the character's running left to right and across the screen. There's gaps, things to collect. You press X to jump. You've simply got to collect or go a certain distance. Probably takes 5 to 10 minutes, depending, bit longer, but still, for a couple bucks, that's another easy platinum. Of course, I really only shout out the easy platinums that are under like $3. $3 seems to be my weird like sort of limit, unless I really need to, like, I don't know, maybe if I'm getting close to 300 and I'm like, fuck, I just want to knock out like, you know, 398, 3 to 399, maybe then I'd be willing to spend. But like, there's all these other ones I see pop up on the store recently. It's like $11, $12 for these like 10-minute plats. Too much. I'm not spending that. No, can't do that. That's my line, you know. All right, let's get into this week's news and let's start with the big thing. So, PlayStation Plus, PlayStation blog writes, all new PlayStation Plus game lineup: Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Demon's Souls, Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut, NBA 2K 2022, and more during the service. So they've released a list of all the games. I guess it's with an asterisk. Selection. We don't know 100% what the Australian games list will look like until closer to that date. However, I'm going to presume there's not too much that'll change between this and us. Like, there's no like weird licensing thing, or you know what I mean. Like, I feel like we should be pretty good. But some of this could change before we get it in Australia. Nonetheless, so PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games library. So this is what you get for your PlayStation Plus extras up tier, anything extras and up tier. You get access to these. It's like a instant game collection thing. So I will quickly go for everything. It seems like there's a lot, but I can quickly go over it. So PlayStation Studios games: Alienation, Bloodborne, Concrete Genie, Days Gone, Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition, Death Stranding and Death Stranding Director's Cut, separate games apparently, Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Everybody's Golf, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, God of War. I don't know. That's the one you already got as part of. That's the yes. Gravity Rush 2.
Gravity Rush Santa Monica ones, but yes, the PS4 version.
Yes. Gravity Rush Remastered, Horizon Zero Dawn, Infamous First Light, Infamous Second Son, Knack, Little Big Planet 3, Loco Roco Remastered, Loco Roco 2 Remastered, Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Matterfall, Medieval, Patapon Remastered, Patapon 2 Remastered, Resogun, Returnal, Shadow of Colossus, Tearaway Unfolded, The Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, The Last of Us Left Behind, Until Dawn, Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection, Uncharted 4 A Thief's End, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Wipeout, a Mega Collection. Let's stop there for a sec. What do you think of the third, like as far as the PlayStation Studios day one? Because of course they're going to add to this over the top. Like all these lists are going to be added to as the service continues. But as far as like if that's your launch library, booting up day one, is there anything there you're happy to have access to? Or even if there's nothing you particularly want to jump into, do you think that's like a good solid list, or there's some stuff you think should have been included?
I mean, yeah, that's a solid list. I can't think of many exclusive, like, first-party games from the last two generations that aren't there.
No, apart from recent stuff, I guess, which maybe we weren't expecting.
The only one that's, like... Well, there's two games that are, like, pretty clear, like Last of Us Part 2. Yes. That's not on the list, even though Ghost of Tsushima came out afterwards.
True, good point.
The Director's Cut came after and is in
the
collection. I assume that's because they suspect it's still going to sell. It's still doing numbers, I guess, or
they're doing that Last of Us 2 remastered thing, which is always a
true. That could like a remaster of Part 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, for PS5.
Yeah.
And also Knack 2. Where's Knack 2?
Good point. Where is Knack 2?
Why is Knack 2 on this list? But yeah, everything else seems like what we expect. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a solid list. I think some weird stuff.
I don't know. It'd be interesting if they clarify if it's Marvel Spider-Man Remastered as well.
It's not, because it says PS4.
Yeah, but that could change. And then I mean, there's a lot of like solid games, like recent ones as well. Obviously, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. I didn't end up getting the Director's Cut or upgrading, so that would be a helpful addition. Then Demon's Souls is there. That's launch title. Returnal as well. So like some of the biggest PS5 games so far on this list. Can't complain too much, I don't think.
I can, because Bloodborne's in this list, and that means they're not doing a remake. Or I'm reading into it too much.
I think you could. No, you're probably right.
Yeah, that was my first takeaway.
not because it's on the list, but because they're just not doing it.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, definitely. There's nothing in there that I'm going to play. I don't think there's anything in there I particularly care to play, but that's fine because it's a PlayStation podcast.
We've played all these games.
I played all the things. I play everything. I haven't actually played everything.
I think that's the key thing. This package is going to be good for people who are just getting into the PS4, PlayStation ecosystem, or just getting into gaming because it's the big hot thing.
Yeah. For the price upgrade, between that and the base level PlayStation Plus Core or whatever the hell Essentials they call it now, you get access to a bunch of games there. So it's sort of like if you haven't played the majority of those, it's like you pay for your year pretty quickly,
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Solid list. Nothing for the hardcore PlayStation fan base, I guess. But I do think maybe in the third party stuff here, that's where it's more like, oh, maybe you haven't tried this sort of thing. So there's some asterisks on these Ubisoft titles, and I'll come back to discuss. I'm just going to read the list, and we'll come back to that because I want to discuss that separately. So third-party partners: Ashen, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Batman Arkham Knight, Celeste, Cities Skylines, Control Ultimate Edition, Dead Cells, Far Cry 3 Remaster, Far Cry 4, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, For Honor, Hollow Knight, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Mortal Kombat 11, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, NBA 2K22, Outer Wilds, Red Dead Redemption 2, Resident Evil, Soul Calibur 6, South Park, The Fractured But Whole, The Artful Escape, The Crew 2, Tom Clancy's The Division. Really solid list of third-party games where I think with a good mix of with the Ubisoft games being there to sort of represent some big recent AAA stuff like Valhalla, really cool. And again, I'll come back to the Ubisoft thing in a moment. But also, as I'm saying, like Buddy pointed out on Twitter, The Artful Escape being in there as a more recent release and also having been launched on Game Pass as hopefully a sign that the indie side of this will be built. Pair that also with Celeste being in here and Hollow Knight, not recent, but there's a good mix of AAA and indie stuff in here. That's like maybe the third party partner thing could. It's not just going to focus on AAA stuff, and they could have a good mix of indie games either launching on here or quickly coming to here several months after release, like a Artful Escape or something like that, which would be good. Looking at this list though, is there anything in there that you're like, cool, I want to play that, or I don't have to buy that now, or
probably like NBA 2K. Like any sports game added to that, it's like cool. I don't have to buy it. But yeah, Artful Escape would be a good one to get and play on the PS5. That'd be pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. I'm glad Guardians of the Galaxy is on that list because then more people play Guardians of the Galaxy and realize fantastic game.
That's the one where I'm like, oh, maybe if I have time, I can play Guardians of the Galaxy now. Yep. Of that list. So I was like, oh, that's pretty good because
also Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, that's pretty
big.
Like, that's pretty big.
They're like, oh, that's stopped selling. GTA 5 is the one that keeps selling. So
I'm surprised actually that. Well, I'm not surprised, but like GTA is on the list.
No, because it still sells.
It still sells, yeah. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, and then maybe if more people get in, maybe they'll actually spend time on the online mode.
Finally, because then I'll just stop reading people complain about it. Decent leaks with that. It's also worth pointing out like a good mix of partners. So it's like Annapurna's in there a couple times. You got the Ubisoft thing in there a lot, of course. Warner Brothers games, 505 games, bunch of indie studios, including like Maddie Makes Games, Motion Twin.
They say Square Enix, but they put Square Enix next to Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's not correct.
That is, yes. I mean, I guess legally, technically, it's still Square Enix because they like published it at the time, so they no longer own the the game, but they did
Do
publish
they have
it.
to do a new deal with Embrace Group? I don't know.
I don't if they republish it. I don't know if it'll change once the deal goes through. It may change after the deal goes through. I'm not sure. It's cool. Now we get into the classic games catalog. So this is what you're getting if you're a PlayStation Premium Above member. So the next tier above. Now the first, I'll just go over this list here. So this list I'm about to read out is what they're saying, the classic games catalog, original PlayStation and PSP, meaning these are just the exact same releases that they had as PSP classics, PS1 classics, and even if you're not paying for this membership tier, if you previously brought these to play on your PS3 or your PSP, you will be able to now download these on your PS5 to play them without being a subscription member. So that's good. That is good that it's going to be able to read that and you'll be able to get access to these. Because I definitely have brought some of these. Not that it matters, because as I said, I'm just going to upgrade my subscription anyway. But that's cool to know. Because that was something people were wondering about when they announced the tier. Like, what if I've already brought a bunch of the games back as PS1 classics? Do I have to buy them all again? The answer is no, you don't. So that's Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, IQ Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, Super Stardust Portable from the PlayStation Studio side, and the third-party partners are Mr. Driller, Tekken 2, Worms, World Party, and Worms Armageddon. So they're all like original PSP or PS1 games. Then you've got what they've listed as Classic Games Catalog Remasters. So interestingly, and I never thought about this when they announced it as a service, they are putting on these ones, and these are all re-release, remaster things that they've done. That these all have trophies, so that's good. Is the difference here. So that original list I just went over, none of that's going to have trophies. They're just straight. Here's a PS1 game on your thing. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm assuming no because they're the same ones on PS3 and they didn't have them on PS3. So, but these ones, so PlayStation Studios, Ape Escape 2, Ark the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits, Dark Cloud 2, Fantavision, Hot Shots Tennis, Jack 2, Jack 3, Jack X Combat Racing, Jack and Dexter The Precursor Legacy, Rogue Galaxy, Siren, Wild Arms 3, and then from third-party partners, Bioshock Remastered, Borderlands The Hampson Collection, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and Lego Harry Potter Collection. These are all remastered or re-released collections of like PS3, PS2 games, which they released on PS4, which do have trophies, updated visuals, etc., etc., etc. But I never thought this, when they announced, the classics catalog, I never actually thought that these would be options, because they're PS4 games, but they are older games just redone. So that's cool. What do you make of this list of classic stuff? And is there anything here that interests you?
Not really. I mean, it's fine. There's a lot of solid games and that kind of stuff, but again, this is something I've got no nostalgia for any of these, really. So there's not a great desire. I guess the only one would probably be Jax and Daxter, because I feel like that's important, like a key pillar in Naughty Dog's rise. Like, it would be good to go back and play those, but yeah, this confirming that this really isn't the level for me, probably.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely the weakest level.
Or maybe Siphon Filler would be the only other one.
But again, it's just it's not like updated controls or even visuals. It's like the OG. So, I think this is definitely the weakest tier, especially when you compare this to the level of games that were available as the PS4 and PS5 game catalog category, and then they're like asking for a bit more money to get access to this, especially when we don't have the PS3 streaming side of stuff. Like here in Australia, this collection here is sort of a weaker element of wanting to pay that extra bit of cash. It's not a very long list. It's not a particularly strong list, especially if you don't care about a lot of these games. I feel like this is something where maybe this stuff as it grows over time would look a lot better a year from now, sort of thing, when they've added to it, hopefully, or presumably they've added to it. For me, I would say like none of that original PS1 stuff I could ever see myself jumping into. There's nothing there. I mean, maybe for a meme, Siphon Filter or Ape Escape, for fuck around, but otherwise, I would say the Jack games, I have considered buying those previously and always just not done it even when they're on sale because I'm like, I can't be fucked. Like, I don't need to spend the money. You know, I'm not going to actually finish them, sort of thing. But if I'm not paying for them, I could jump in and never finish them. I can't feel bad at that at that point. I mean, because it's a thing where I have that. I'm like 100%ed all of these games were back in the day, and I would love to just do it again, just to have all the platinums on my my PlayStation profile. Sort of, that's what I would love to do. Would be really, really good. So maybe that would be cool. The BioShock remastered being added there is kind of cool if I ever wanted to replay that. Because first BioShock's a fantastic game, of course. And if you've never played BioShock, then having access to that here is really cool. Borderlands Handsome Collection is good for people who want to go play those, I guess. Especially if maybe they only play that Tiny Tina's thing and that's their introduction, and you want access to this stuff. Cool. I don't know if like the value, like compared to just buying it, it's not probably worth upgrading a subscription compared to the cost of just buying it. Lego Harry Potter collection, I guess for some people, it's weird there's only one Lego game in here and not just a couple more. You know, I'm like, why not? This is a very small list. It's like third party. It's like one Lego game, all this sort of stuff. I'm like, there's two 2K games.
Again, this is early days. I suspect they'll have.
Yeah, I suspect
they're still working out deals and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I suspect if we look at this list from here now, there's a couple more Lego collections in here or something like that at least. Because again, it's like you have in the PS3, you have in the other list, you got Batman Arkham Knight. It's like, why couldn't you put the Arkham Remastered collection in here as well? You know, but maybe they will eventually. But anyway, now
let me play Arkham Origins.
Yeah, well, fucking. Let me play Batman Arkham Blackgate or whatever the fuck it was called. That's the one I haven't played part of the Arkhamverse because I never got it for my Vita. So the PS3 streaming games. We don't have access to this. It's a very small list. I want to go over it just because and go, here's the list. Do you feel bad we don't have access to this? Because I'm going to say I don't really. PlayStation Studios, Crash Commando, Demon's Souls, the original PS3 version. Eco Grome, Hot Shots Golf Out of Bounds, Hot Shots Golf World Invitational, Eco, Infamous 2, Infamous Festival of Blood, Loco Roco, Coco Roco, Motorstorm Apocalypse, Motostorm RC, Puppeteer, Rain, Ratchet & Clank Quest for Booty, Ratchet & Clank A Crack in Time, Ratchet & Clank Into Nexus, Resistance 3, Super Stardust HD, Tokyo Jungle, When Vikings Attack, and the third-party partners, Azura's Wrath, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, Devil May Cry HD Collection, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, Fear, Lost Planet 2, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmares. Are you sad we can't stream these games?
Not really.
Yeah, same. It's pretty poor list, I think.
I mean, it's fine, but you know, what games would you want from that?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Exactly.
I have no idea, to be honest. But again,
the PS3 version is not worth remembering, and all the important games have already been remastered.
Like I would much prefer to see older PS2, PS3 games get a facelift and just, you know, be released on this platform than effort put into just streaming straight up PS3 versions of games. You know, like Fear. Love Fear. Great game. Would I want to play the original PS3 version of the game? Not really. Would I play a remastered version of that? I probably would. I probably would, you know? So that's where, you know, like again, it's like I love Dead Space. If Dead Space was on the list, would I replay Dead Space? No. I played it for a couple times. Am I going to play the Dead Space remaster that's out, remake thing that's out next year? Fuck yeah, I am. So
here's a question. Is it financially viable enough for a team to be working on doing what you want to all these games?
What do you mean?
Like remastering them?
I don't know. I feel like...
even just basic, hey, is an up-res version, we adapted the controls a little bit and added trophies.
If you made it a core part of the ongoing types of product that was coming to this PlayStation Plus tier, or one of the tiers, then PlayStation would have access to statistics to say, if they help if certain games help increase subscriptions, or you know what I mean. Like only they would be able to for sure say if the cost is worth it or something. But I definitely feel like it's no different than any other subscription service. And looking at what you put, Netflix puts money into a TV show or something, it's like, is this worth it? Is this worth doing a season 3 of this show? You know, is it worth remastering Black? Yes, it is. We all want to. We all want it.
Not to diminish it. So like remastering these games isn't easy. So yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's easier than.
I thought I was giving the impression.
No, yeah. I'm saying I would say it's easier than making a whole new game, but it's definitely not as easy as like, oh, just flick some switches and it's fucking add trophies, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, done. I'm just saying like preference as to what I would care more about. Do I care about streaming these PS3 games? No. It's like Infamous, right?
Yeah.
Infamous.
So are you glad you don't have the option?
Yeah, I don't really care. At this stage, I don't care. At this stage, I have no fucks. Infamous 1, 2, Festival of Blood, right? I've got all the trophies and all those. Again, it's a thing. So even if I had access to them, would I want to restream them? No. If they did an Infamous remaster with new trophies, would I want to replay Infamous? Yes, I would. So, I don't care. Time limited game trials. So they've got a very short list here. You'll be able to get a time limited game trial of Uncharted, Legacy of Thieves collection, Horizon Forbidden West, and then third party partners you'll be able to get a limited game trial of Cyberpunk 2077 to decide if the game crashes on you or not. Farming Simulator 22, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and WWE 2K 2022. Are you going to be trying out any of those?
Probably not, because I'm not going to buy this tier, probably. But I mean, it's a good option. I mean, Tiny Tina and WWE2K. I mean, those are good. I would like to have a 2-hour free trial of those games. It's interesting that Horizon Forbidden West is in this list. Imagining people playing through the first 2 hours of that game, like, I guess it does have a solid.
I guess it's like the prologue. Like the first 2 hours is probably, depending on how fast you rush through it, you can get through that prologue first section in like 2 hours.
Yeah. And then Cyberpunk, you're like, what?
Yeah.
It keeps crashing on me. My 2 hours is up.
Exactly. We don't have the list of Australian special games, whatever we're calling those. What?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. But whatever that list of stuff is for our tier, PlayStation Plus Deluxe or something like that, I think. Yeah, that's what we're getting around. Right. Yeah. We don't have that stuff yet. I will get that, I would presume, in the coming, well, definitely before this time. I'm going to say before the 17th of June, solely because it comes out in Australia when? Like the 20-something? Where does it say here somewhere? 23rd, right? So it launches in Australia. Europe, Australia, New Zealand, we're last to get the changes. June 23rd. So by June 17th, I'm going to say we've definitely found out what the list of games, exclusive games of that new tier that we get access to are by then, because they need people to know so they can decide if they want to spend their fucking money or not. So, but yeah, everything we know here, you're still, by sounds of it, like gonna keep to that second tier. That's what you were on, wasn't it? Probably. Just going up to the second tier, probably. And just overall, what do you make of this? Like, is this like kind of what you expected, or?
Yeah, this is kind of what I expected. Like, it's PS Plus a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not a Game Pass competitor.
No.
But yeah, people have access to more games for a little bit more money. You know, it's cheaper than buying all these games. That's for sure. So
yeah.
And you'll also continue to get your couple of PS.
Yeah, you'll still get your normal PlayStation.
Although it'll be interesting to see how they tackle that and what sort of standard those are. I guess, like, are they going to like revert to being a bit more indie, you know, or like much older games? You know, because why would you put those up for that and then not have it on the surface? I guess
if PlayStation Plus monthly games go to being like spotlighting new indie games, that's a very good change, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Instead of,
but you know, for us it is, but for other people maybe not so much.
Probably not. I doubt it'll change much, to be honest. I think it'll still keep the same because the people who want to stay on just that tier they need to keep the quality the same, I guess. Like, the rest it'll seem kind of weird, but yeah, there's nothing here shocking. I think it's all sort of what we expected. Primarily.
Where is Knack 2?
Whereas Knack 2, very weird. Whereas Knack 3, even weirder.
That's a big question.
Big question. The final thing we need to find out is what those final list of games or stuff that we're getting to make up for the non-streaming PS3 games are in Australia. It's going to be like 10 games, I bet you. Like 10 random fucking games. Something. And then also, let's go over the Ubisoft thing. So, Press Start writes, in addition to the games that PlayStation have announced from the new PlayStation Plus service, it's also been announced that Ubisoft Plus is coming to PlayStation with PlayStation Plus Extra and PlayStation Plus Deluxe members getting access to its brand new tier called PlayStation Plus. Ubisoft fucking so many Plus services. New tier called Ubisoft Plus Classics. And the new PlayStation Plus tiers launch in June. There will be 27 Ubisoft games that PlayStation Plus subs can get for free, with the list growing to 50 by the end of 2022. So that's why you get this. But some games in here that weren't actually listed on that thing. So you got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, For Honor, The Crew 2, Child of Light, Eagle Flight, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, Far Cry 3 Remastered, Far Cry 4, Legendary Fishing, Risk Urban Assault, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, South Park, The Stick of Truth, Space Junkies, Star Trek, Bridge Crew, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, Steep, The Crew, The Division, Trackmania Turbo, Transference, Trials Fusion, Trials of the Blood Dragon Game, Trials Rising, Valiant Hearts, The Great War, Watch Dogs, Werewolves Within, and Zombie. So partnership with Ubisoft. What do you make of this?
Good for consumers. It's interesting for Ubisoft, I guess. I guess a constant stream of money coming in from PlayStation for the subscription. I guess. And maybe they'll have a bigger tier, I guess. A next level tier that unlocks like more games. But yeah, seems they're investing very heavily in this Ubisoft
Plus.
Ubisoft Plus, you know. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, we get lots of other Ubisoft games, you know. It'd be cool to get like Scott Pilgrim and all the different Assassin's Creeds. Surprising that Valhalla is the one that's coming to the service, the most recent one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of the flagship, I guess, the hey, look, this is good shit. And then the rest is like all of the stuff. So, plus they get people to play Valhalla. They're like, I really like this. Go spend $60 on the new expansion. You know, like, done. Or that's what I'd presume anyway. All right.
So, do you reckon we'll be able to find like the little playing things so we can play Starlink?
No, I presume you can just play. I think you just play it without, right? Or else it'd be very weird. It'd be very weird. All right, let's go over the weird, not so exciting news. Or we briefly touched on this on Arco Couch, which is Uncle Jim's comments about his cats and not wanting to piss off a certain crowd, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, The Verge writes, Insomniac Games, which is part of Sony's PlayStation Studios, plans to donate $50,000 to Women's Reproductive Rights Association project, according to an internal email sent on May 13th to its CIO, Ted Price, as reported by the Washington Post. Sony itself plans to match a donation for a total of 100,000. Employees of Insomniac can make donations through Sony's PlayStation Cares program. Additionally, the Washington Post reports that Sony is working on plans to provide financial assistance to employees who may have to travel to other states to receive abortions and other reproductive care. There's a major wrinkle to this news, though. The Washington Post reports that neither Insomniac Games nor Sony plans to publicize its donations, likely to avoid seeming like they're taking a stance publicly. What's more, the Post writes that Insomniac employees have been forbidden from explicitly mentioning Insomniac or Sony should they decide to retweet any announcements the WRRP may make. These donations come a week after PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan sent an infuriatingly tone-deaf email to staff in response to the recent news that Roe v. Wade may cause case may be overturned. In the email, which was originally reported on by Bloomberg, he said that employees should, quote, respect differences of opinion, end quote, and then proceeded to talk about his cat's birthdays and why he enjoys dogs. Understandably, for employees who wanted the company to take a pro-choice stance, as the soon-to-be Sony-owned Bungie did, this email did the opposite of providing insurance during an especially turbulent time. So this is very weird. I mean, the Jim Ryan stuff was weird, and infuriating, and all that sort of was shit. But then, like, you read like the first like paragraph here is like Sony doing good shit, but they don't want to talk about it, which is...
I mean, they're kind of doing good shit.
I mean, like...
PlayStation... Insomniac's doing good shit. The PlayStation Cares program, they'll just mail match any donations anybody in the company makes. Like, as somebody pointed out, if somebody wants to make a donation to an anti-abortion charity, PlayStation will match the donation.
That would be weird. I hope that's nothing. So Insomniac thing's good.
That's been confirmed, yeah.
Well, that's fucked. So then I would say that the Insomniac thing's good, and then the part about what was it? Financial assistance to employees who may have to travel to other states. That part's good. I was waiting for you to twist that into a negative. Like, I was like, have I missed that?
But they're gonna have to pay for everything. They'll have to sign a contract agreeing to work for PlayStation for 20 years. I mean, that's the kind of horrible stuff that you know. That's what the US government wants them to do, like commit to breeding babies. This is pretty tone deaf, and like I feel like a large amount of it is to like save face for Jim Ryan. I feel like obviously he put out a tone deaf message. Probably because he's in Europe, he's from Europe, so really none of this affects him at all. So it's super easy for him to go, you know, please respect everybody, and probably coming from a place of, hey, please don't do anything that will tarnish the reputation of PlayStation, like telling people to go fuck themselves or whatever. But yeah, this is really blown up in PlayStation's face. You know, just let them say they're pro-choice and they were happy to make the donation. It just kind of makes the money they're giving like look bad. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna look. It
feels like a hollow gesture.
It's gonna look even worse.
Hollow
when more
gesture.
Sony studios, like publicly, like Insomniac, are like pro-choice, and then Sony, just as a company, is refusing to pick a side. Also, it's really weird. Again, in the year 2022, that picking a side on pro-choice as a subject matter is considered still, I don't want to pick a side because I don't want to piss off the wrong audience. You know, like it's like if you didn't want to piss someone off the argument of like, I don't know, some sort of thing to do with racism. It's like, pretty sure most people have decided that we know what's right and what's wrong. I don't know what it's just weird. So Sony's been copying a lot of flack for this, deservingly. Jim Ryan's been copying a lot of slack for this, deservingly. Good job, Insomniac. Sorry to the Sony employees who are stuck listening to people complain, even though they don't obviously stand with what Jim Ryan said. And I would like to know what the fuck he's smoking in a world where he can write that email, say all that, and then talk about cats and dogs. Because, yes.
Strong stuff.
Living in a completely different world to sign that off and send it and be like, this is a very normal email to send. Very normal situation. But, yes. See how that develops. Eurogamer. Fall Guys goes free to play in June alongside Switch and Xbox release. The news isn't hugely surprising, of course. Epic Games acquiring Mediatonic in 2021, and while the developer insisted Fall Guys would remain available on Steam, guess what? It's not. So there's your first bit of news there. Secondly, let's go into the rest of it. Knockout Battle Royale game Fall Guys is going free to play from 21st of June. Developer Mediatonic has announced. Additionally, the shift in monetization model will coincide with the game's long-awaited release on Switch and Xbox, as well as the arrival of a new PlayStation 5 version and its debut on the Epic Game Store. A part of its transition to free-to-play, Fall Guys, which celebrates its second birthday later this year, will be hitting the reset button, and the 21st of June will see it relaunching with a new season that Mediatonic is referring to as Season 1, free for all, promising stacks of new challenges and rewards. As with Rocket League before, which similarly went free to play after being snapped up by Epic Games, Fall Guys will be adapting a monetization model that will be immediately familiar to Fortnite players. That means arrival of a new paid premium season pass, purchasable with new in-game currency known as Showbucks. They'll sit alongside the existing free tier to help ease Fall Guys' transition from a paid game to a free-to-play game, and to, quote, thank the global community for their support, and, quote, Mediatonic will be giving all existing players access to a special legacy pack, which will include various cosmetic items, and the first season pass for free. What do you make of the news of Fall Guys going free-to-play, getting cross-play, being taken off Steam, etc., etc., etc.?
I mean, it makes complete sense. I mean, we also kind of saw it coming for a little while. And hopefully we get a big influx of players. So,
hopefully we can stream the game one time and get into a fucking game without having to switch to Apex Legends.
Maybe one day. That's the dream. Yeah, good for PlayStation players. That exciting. There's PS5 version coming. Yeah, Fall Guys is great. Play Fall Guys when it comes to free to play. It's super wholesome, easy for family. Yeah, I think the only thing that I think would be a great, if I don't know if they could do it, but if they could do some sort of split screen, so you could play like locally, multiple
does
people.
Fortnite have that though? I don't think it does, right? Fortnite doesn't have split. So. Does it? Fortnite split screen online?
I think they did for at least a little while. I know Rocket League does.
Rocket League does, yeah. Don't know. Yeah, I definitely am jumping back in with the relaunch. Probably try and stream it, because at this stage, like,
yeah, why not?
The memes are worth. We're not even joking though. For anyone who's like, you can't, like, I swear we tried to stream it 2 or 3 different times, months apart, and every single time we couldn't get a game, or maybe one game, and take like 10 minutes to find it. So relaunching free to play, cross play with when it comes out on Xbox, Switch, and is going to have the PC audience. All of this sounds great to me. I have no problems with anything here. But people who are complaining that they brought it for $20 or whatever, and fucking who cares at this stage? Like, you brought it for $20, like,
I'm sure they're going to give you like a founders pack, super. Here's a
that's what I'm saying. They're getting it. You're getting this. Yeah. You're getting a whatever pack I just read it a moment ago, and you're getting access to the first battle pass for season 1 or whatever what they call it. I don't remember. Anyway, you're getting access to that first battle pass for season 1 for free. That's probably worth $15-$20 alone, and you're getting like a pack with cosmetics in it. So you're getting the money you spent. And I still this morning,
and you also had 2 years worth of playing it,
and you had 2 years worth of playing it. Like, the game literally came out years ago. Like, and come on, like, these motherfuckers. I swear.
Why would we not be surprised? That people are upset that people are getting something for free. Yeah.
Show me up the wall. Like, they're like complaining the game's doing something to reinvigorate. Like, there's nothing here that's bad for the game other than it being taken off Steam, which, unfortunately, as much as people want to cry about, it's being brought by a competitor company that runs its own game launcher.
Yeah.
Fucking who'd have thought?
If you if you've already bought it on Steam, you can still play it on Steam.
Yeah.
It's just you can't buy it on you can't download it on Steam anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like people get so caught up in this consumer first thing that, like, at the end of the day, I just don't understand how you can literally look and go, Epic Games, who is trying to literally beat Steam in the thing they've been winning, like, PC marketplace for, 10 years or whatever. The company that is literally trying to come in and beat them with their own launch and has been making it very fucking obvious since they launched that they're trying to come in and take some of that audience away with their own launcher. Why the fuck would they leave a game they just brought purchasable on that competitive? Like, come on, like, fucking drive me up the wall, some of these people. Like, business is business at the end of the day, like, as much as some people like, oh, fucking complain. Anyway, that's
cool.
Inconvenienced. Killing me. Anyway, that's cool. That's good news. They were teasing the big news. They were like, oh, we're streaming. We're doing a stream next week. We're going to announce something big. Cool. That's good. That's nothing but good news to me. DualShockers Sly Cooper sequel all but confirmed Sucker Punch job listing. There are 2 job listings that have recently been posted by Sucker Punch. The first one is for a senior multiplayer systems designer, and it says they're looking for someone who reads, quote, board game instruction manuals as if they were spy thrillers, end quote. If the spy thriller or hint wasn't enough, it's further stated, quote, do you look through the rule set and instantly see opportunities for betrayals and glorious come from behind victories, end quote. Now, if you're an avid fan of Sly Cooper franchise, you might find 2 terms quite familiar. First, we have the spy thriller hint, which is quite synonymous with the franchise. The Sly Cooper games belong to the self-platforming genre, so it could be very likely that spy thriller is nothing but Sly Cooper itself. Likewise, the betrayals term in the second part of the job listing once again suggests this game. The reason is quite obvious. One of the major themes of the game revolves around Penelope and her betrayal after the Cooper Vault heist. Penelope was working with Bentley on his time machine, but she eventually disappears. It is later discovered that she has been working with Cyril Lipatarox against Bentley. Man, the Sly Cooper law is going off here. Shit. The second job listing is about a multiplayer network programmer who can, quote, define, implement, and deploy networking features that support a smooth and engaging cooperative gameplay experience, end quote. It is not known what the game this job listing is hinting towards. It could be that the Infamous franchise is getting caught, but it's very much possible there's a totally new IP together. Now, you're going to tell me this has nothing to do with Sly Cooper, aren't you?
It's nothing to do with Sly Cooper. This is the biggest stretch I've ever seen. One, it's for a multiplayer listing. Sly Cooper has never been multiplayer.
So what?
No, this screams of like they're bringing in somebody. The wording is like someone who reads instruction manuals like the spy thrillers. Just someone who reads quickly is what they're trying to get at. You know, someone who can figure out how to best utilize the rules. That's the person they're looking for. Yeah, this person is stretching it as far as possible just because they want Sly Cooper and it's Sucker Punch. You know, could yeah. It doesn't sound like anything that they've currently got. It could be a new IP. But yeah, this is the Sly Cooper.
Let me tell you something, Ash.
Sure.
I agree with everything you just said, but I had to put it in the show because it was a bit. Even I read this and was like, oh boy, as someone who wants a new Sly Cooper game, you've like traveled around the world like Superman and rewound time to get this story to make sense, man. But it was a good read. I like how, and I like the way it's just like written like, hey, you know all that? It was this paragraph that was making me laugh. The reason's quite obvious. One of the major themes of the game revolves around Penelope and her betrayal. It's quite obvious. Can't you see? Good shit. I mean, I want a new Sly Cooper game, but that's a fucking pull. How good though. Alright. Eurogamer writes, Sony misses PS5 sales target as stock struggles to continue. Sony has now shipped 19.3 million PlayStation 5 consoles worldwide to date, with another 2 million shipped during the last financial quarter. However, those figures are lower than expected by 3.3 million consoles, following warnings by Sony of struggling to get a hold of components. Sony had hoped to shift 14.8 million PS5 consoles this past financial year, the 12 months ending the 31st of March 2022, in order to match, if not outpace, the number of PS5 sold at the same point in its life cycle. I mean, this is just, we talked about this. This is just an update. I think we talked about this story months and months and months ago where they were like, Sony's like, we plan to hit this many. Like, there's definitely going to be enough PS5s available in the world by this date that we'll sell this many. And everyone and their mum said, that ain't going to happen. Sony, that ain't going to happen. And guess what? It didn't happen. They didn't get fucking close. 3.3 million off what they thought they were going to get. That's absolutely crazy. Where the fuck was it? This part. On a brighter note, game sales for both PS4 and PS5 were up, with 14.5 million sold in the last financial quarter compared to the 7.9 million last year. Looking forward, Sony said it is expected to ship more consoles during the current financial year, with 18 million further units pegged. We'll fucking see. Sony saw a slight decrease in Sony PlayStation Plus subscribe numbers versus its total 12 months last 12 months. 47.4 million users in March 2022, down from 47.6 million in March 2021. So that's interesting especially when they're about to launch a change to the system to see how those numbers change. March 2023, what numbers are we looking at, sort of thing. So, but the game numbers being up is good. Console numbers completely not their fault, really. I don't think it says anything about Sony as the PS5 like popularity. It's just where the consoles in certain parts of the world are still harder to get than other parts of the world, I guess. Although with that said, 16 showed up at work randomly last week, right? Here's my quick story. 16. Now, maybe once every couple of days, someone asks, "Do you have PS5?" The answer is always no. On this particular day, someone chose to ask someone at the front. The answer was, in fact, we do. They proceeded to then post on some Facebook group post. I don't know where, when, or how. And within minutes, the telephones were off the hook with continuous calls asking if we still had PS5s left. It was unbelievable how quick this news spread around such a small town. The PS5s, which got delivered in the afternoon, were gone by the end of the day. And then the weekend was spent having people get really shitty at you because they didn't get one. And they would do. This dude literally asked me, "Hey, do you have any PS5s?" "No, sorry, they're all gone." "Oh, are you taking a list? Do you know when you're getting them?" "No, sorry, we don't know when we're getting any. We didn't even know we was getting those." And he literally turned around and all I heard was, "Fucking motherfucking fucking bullshit, fucking store, and fucking cunt, fucking." I was like, what the fuck is going on? like,
Dylan, it's been 18 months they've been trying to get these PlayStations.
not trying. I just like read it and this not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. Oh, someone else
turned around and said, "Guess what? I got two more."
Someone else was like, "Oh, do you have any left?" "No, we're all out." "Oh, because I saw on Facebook last night you had some, but I couldn't be bothered coming in." "Oh, I guess I'll try next time." That's your fault. Got to be in the game to win it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No prize for second. Well, there is a prize for second place. Not all the time.
There's no prize for fourth place. Or in this case, 17th and below because there was only 16 PlayStations. Gone and gone.
How many were taken by staff?
None. Everyone in the stores sorted. So
okay,
yeah, I'm pretty sure the first one we ever got, first shipment we ever got was like everyone who wanted one sort of got their shared from there. So, and I just take one off every shipment. I got 5 now, so no, I'm still only got 2. It's only got 2.
I mean, it'd be easy. I mean, you just take one. So you can sell it for double the price. I mean, it pays for itself.
I think it's a quick way to lose my job.
I appreciate you didn't say that's very morally wrong and not something I would do, but
no, it is morally wrong and something I wouldn't do, but also it's a quick way to lose your job. And then shout outs. I'm going to be playing this after we're done recording or sometime later today, at least at some stage, because I've already brought it. My Name Mayo 3 is out, everyone. It's out now. I love the fact that Push Square wrote up a news story for this. I had to give them a shout out. Any website willing to write about fucking My Name Mayo 3 is doing a good work over there. They write, the My Name Mayo is Mayo series is one with a close connection to PlayStation. The first game arrived on PS4 in 2017, wowing players and critics with its jar-clicking gameplay and swift path to a platinum trophy. It was followed in 2020 by My Name Is Mayo 2, which offered even more of the iconic facts, minigames, and storylines. Now, Green Lava Studios is preparing for the release of the third and final game in this storied franchise. My Name Is Mayo 3. It's out, everyone. It costs $3 something, or rather 34 cents or some weird number. And you can get it and you can play it, and presumably it'll be an easy platinum. Very excited if you care about platinums. Because my name is Mayo.
You gonna stream it?
Fuck no.
Record the video?
No, fucking can't be bothered.
No, it's for you.
It's a personal experience.
Just for me.
It's a personal experience. I can't share that.
Don't you know what the mayo is metaphor for?
Yeah, I like how this person in the comments. I don't even understand anything about game programming, but as a commentary about the game, 2 years to make this seems like a lot. Essentially just a bunch of mayonnaise jars dressed up in cosplay.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. I literally can't wait. Not even joking, writes another user. Sad. No curation on Sony's part to keep letting crap get on PSN. I'll argue the fact. My Name Is Mayo has actual gameplay. And by that, I mean you have to open menus, click things, change like costumes and whatever else. It has like dialogue. Things happen. Compared to those other games I mentioned at the top end of the show where you just hold X and get a platinum, this is Fortnite in comparison. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This is a real game. 20 years from now, we'll be reminiscing how the original trilogy was the best. Soak it up, boys. We're living in the golden age, writes one user.
Yeah. It's all going to sell out in the next one.
Yeah. Next one's
adding extra condiments.
When they're remaking these on the PS7 and they're not as good as the original trilogy. That'll be the real disappointment. All right, moving into PlayStation Productions, we've got one story about Twisted Metal from Deadline. Twisted Metal adds Stephanie Beatriz. Beatriz? How do you say it? Beatriz? Beatriz?
Yep.
Beatriz. Joins the cast of Peacock's live adaptation of Twisted Metal. Stephanie Beatriz, which most people probably know from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and also she does a voice in Encanto, and she plays a character in
the Heights.
In the Heights, that's it. Yep. Will star in Peacock's Twisted Metal live-action video game adaptation starring Anthony Mackie. Beatriz will play the character of Quiet, a ferocious, badass car thief who acts purely on instinct. You couldn't stop her any more than a manhole could stop a volcano. Coming from a community that oppressed her into silence, Quiet's wish is to find her place in the dark, chaotic world. But when she becomes clouded by her need for revenge, Quiet performs an unlikely antagonistic bond with John Doe, played by Mackie. Are you more excited for this now that she's in it? What do you make of that character description? I don't like the fact that, I'll tell you right now, I don't like the fact that I got a character called Quiet in this game because Quiet is always just going to remind me of...
Yeah, hopefully she's wearing clothes.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'm cool. It's cool to see Stephanie's great. If she's just Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Twisted Metal, I think that would be a great fit. So, yeah. Excited. Good news. Good addition to the cast. Reasonably big names added so far. Anthony Mackie, reasonably big name. Stephanie Beatriz, reasonably big name. So it's not like they're skimping on the talent. You know what I mean?
No, well, I mean they want. I guess Sony wants
to be able to deliver the laughs as well.
You think Anthony Mackie's funny?
He can be.
Yeah.
When he's making fun of Tom Holland in like interviews.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah. I was about to say, I don't think he's ever been funny in, I wouldn't call him like a, she
in the Marvel. Wasn't he funny in Pain and Gain?
In what?
Pain and Gain, the Michael Bay.
Pain and Gain. Fuck, I don't remember. I didn't like that movie.
The drug, yeah.
I didn't like that movie. That's a weird movie. Have you ever watched that?
No, I only saw the trailers and stuff.
Yeah, because I'll put the side tangent real quick since you mentioned it. My thing with that movie is this. It's a true story, right? And those two do like some fucked up shit. Like, but the movie makes it so funny, like tries to paint it all like, oh, how hilarious, like it's all fun and games. I'm like, I don't know, like that's actually kind of fucked up. So I know I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it was portrayed. Anyway, just a minute.
He was hilarious in $1 Million Baby.
I have not watched that movie.
No, I was just trying to find the most depressing sounding movie on the list.
Well, I can tell you, was that one I watched last year or the year before? The one with Synchronic. He's hilarious in that. And by that, I'm being completely sarcastic because it's actually a very dark and depressing movie.
super funny in The Hate You Give.
Yes, The Hate You Give. Also, hilarious movie about racism.
Hilarious fun.
And, yes. No, I wouldn't say Anthony Mackie streams comedy. I'm going to see how he plays off this, because I could see her playing, that character description, right? Ferocious, badass, car thief, purely on instinct, blah, blah, blah. I can see her playing that character, totally see it. I can see her in this world. I'm still struggling to see Anthony Mackie in this Twisted Metal world, but we'll see. I don't know. Just can't see it. But I will see it, because it's a thing that's happening.
Literally see it.
How about that? How about them apples? Also, since I just came to my mind, I should mention before we wrap up the show, Uncharted's recently been available to stream or buy and all that sort of stuff. If you are, check out our Uncharted spoilercast that we did 10 years ago. How long ago was it, actually? It feels like it was forever ago.
3 months ago.
3 months ago. I'll link it in the description below. Probably the easiest way to find it. There you go.
Yeah. Incredible. I saw people buying steelbooks of it. I'm like, okay.
Nah.
Okay. At least they're producing steelbooks.
Yeah. Don't give me a steelbook for a good movie. Produce it for Uncharted. No, come on. What are you doing? Let's know any comments, questions, concerns you've had about this week's episode. Your thoughts on...
I want to just finally up.
What happened?
Important message.
Okay.
If you're here in Australia, go remember to vote. 1, because it's mandatory and you'll get fined otherwise. I mean, 2, because, because, you can go get a democracy sausage and stuff. But, I went and voted earlier today. I couldn't get democracy sausage. So I treated myself to some democracy donuts.
Are you going to at least eat one if you're going to do that? For fuck's sake, take a bite.
Yeah, you close out the show and I'll eat a donut.
All right, well, I'm switching to full cam on you then, because for video viewers, and do it. Ash is going to take... By the way, for video viewers, what Ash just held up is the PlayStation...
Audio viewers, I think.
Audio viewers. So, yes, for audio listeners, Ash does have the PlayStation exclusive... What brand are they? I forgot.
Donut King.
Donut King PlayStation Donuts. Now, I'm just going on silence because I want to hear the... Yeah?
Yeah, it tastes good.
Come on, it tastes good. I can't eat them, and you're just gonna give me it tastes good. I can't even fucking eat them, man. Come on. It looks good.
You know what I expected, because Donut King, I think the cinnamon, those type of donuts.
Yes.
But it's a bit more like the Krispy Kreme,
I love a Krispy Kreme.
Those ones, yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Donut Hunt. Platinum Explosion. Let's know any comments, questions, concerns, your thoughts on the donuts if you've had them, your thoughts on the PlayStation Plus changes, list of games that are going to be available, all those things. You can head on over to our Twitter, explosionetwork.com/Twitter, leads you to a list where you can follow all of us as part of that. Head on over to explosionetwork.com/Discord to join our Discord and talk to us over there if you'd like to. And if you thought this episode was worth $1, especially watching Ash eat donuts and enjoying the ASMR vibes, I can head on over to our Ko-fi page, explosionetwork.com/support to drop $1 or more, set up a monthly payment, check it out, all those sorts of things. And until next week,
donate some money so Dylan will have some donuts. Can't you take something to help with your... I don't know if it's worth the risk.
Is it worth it? Anytime I think about it, I just hear from below my asshole yell up, no!
I appreciate inside the box, under the donuts, we've got the sacred symbols, and then all the little buttons in little...
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
And then they've also got L and R in the top right, left and right corners.
Some real hardcore packaging. I like this.
Yeah, hardcore packaging.
All right. Remember, every trophy counts. Bye. Looks good.
Yeah, good.
Looks good. Good. I would.
It's sticky. That's why I didn't do it at the top of the show.
No, you can't touch anything. Fair.